Alright everyone, a happy new year and welcome back to the final part of my F124 game ideas. And well, as you can see by the title, this also is going to sort of just say, if F124, it's simple. The game must improve. If it doesn't, then that's the end of the F1 games by EA Codemasters. I personally think it is, because the player base dropped 47% from F122 to F123, and I already know that maybe you and other people out there are not pre-ordering F124, because what's the point of pre-ordering a terrible game if they don't make any changes? And there's been excuse after excuse made about, oh, we can't go next gen and stuff like that, and the fact of the matter is, you can see what they've done with F1 World, F1 Life, the elimination mode. The fact of the matter is, the excuse of next gen is total and utter bollocks, because it's a thing that they hide behind. Yes, we want to see a new game engine. The Ego engine is probably coming to the end of its life, but the things they have done with it, shows that if they put that stuff in career from like Breaking Point, F1 World, F1 Life as well, even though it was useless, into career mode, then it would make career mode 1,000 times better than what we currently have. And I've made so many videos now on F1 game ideas dating back to I think F1 2018. So it's not like these ideas are new. Some of these are the same ideas that come up again and again and again, and they just don't get implemented. And it's not just across my channel, it's across everyone who makes game ideas videos. The same ideas come up from other creators as well. Now, obviously, one thing that could end to a demise is F123. F123 is currently in a state where it's pretty poor. It's pretty much unloved, and there are things that are just being closed that are not going to get fixed, like the multiple track limits, and a lot of this says considered for future projects, which has me a little concerned about F124, because if it's future projects, then that suggests to me that they're not going to have a new game engine for F124, because obviously it won't. Everyone, the community has assumed there will not be another release of the Ego engine. Ego engine, by the way, is Codemasters' own engine. However, obviously World Rallycross, which again, there was that issue after that and F1 were released, that they obviously cut redundancies there made by EA. So I'm not going to hold my breath about F124 being any good. But yeah, multiple track limits, apparently goals in F1. Apparently goals being locked in F1 World is fixed. Don't know if it has or not. Multiple warnings do not equate to time penalties in ranked. Well, they're not even bothering. I mean, that gameplay, that quick join race, that was technically a ranked race. And you saw how laggy that was, how broken that was. So yeah, they're not going to fix that. I think we've had the last patch as well for F123. Graphical corruption when looking backwards. Apparently it's not been reported. Probably is. Low frame when we're driving through smoke. I only have this online, for funny enough. As well, any additional improvements we consider for upcoming projects. Like if you were going to have a new, because this is a graphical glitch, low frame rate when driving through smoke. If you were going to have a new game engine, then it would be saying, it kind of says to me, consider this, consider for upcoming projects. Think that we're going to have another round of Ego engine. True Force being unavailable. We work with a partner and support for upcoming projects. Again, all of this is about upcoming future projects. F123 is dead as far as they're concerned. There's still stuff about there, but there will no more patches for F123, which I believe this is the shortest time that they've terminated the game early. Kind of expected this, to be fair, considering the fact we had no game news or details about the game pretty much until a month before the game was coming out. I mean, what other game do you know when there aren't any game news before, literally just before the game comes out? Career mode, apparently they made some balance changes, my bottom. Basically, they did nothing with career mode, and yeah. But obviously, we have some couple of suggestions from you guys in the comments below from the previous videos. RT Racing says, I would love to see a better showroom for the F1, Classic F1 and F2. Thank you for all your suggestions, RT Racing, as well, by the way. As well. Absolutely. I don't actually like the current showroom. It does not do well on the chrome liveries as well. The lighting is not realistic. A-Man also replied to that, said, I reckon a good showroom would be the factory floor / pit garage. I mean, that brings me, I think it was the classic car showroom. That was sort of like a fan room thing. It was dark, but the car was all lit up. Yeah, absolutely. Love to have that. That may be a choice of showrooms as well, because they had that outdoor one. They had that one that was slightly inside as well in previous years. But yeah, definitely a new showroom. And Leo Lundgren's wrote, I would personally like to see a practice mode that is similar to license mode in Gran Turismo. There you can practice pit corners, pit stop strategy sections, also like a fun challenge mode, various race scenarios that you have to get through. Absolutely. I mean, I like that they do vary it up now, because it used to just have the same practice sessions, which gets a bit difficult, but at the same time, you're not. I never fulfill the free practice sessions. I mean, I do FP1 and do a few practice programs, and you can get most of the objectives there, and then just hoover up with quick practice. That is my recommended strategies for getting the most out of the current practice programs. Absolutely, practice is something that is a bit stale. I mean, they brought in quick practice, but that's pretty much the only change that they've really made. They've changed a few things with the UI in recent years, but other than that, practice is definitely something that we'd like to see. I've already talked about that in a previous episode as a previous suggestion as well. So, yeah, if you haven't seen that, I recommend you go and check out the series so far. But yeah, there's a whole load of stuff as well about Grand Prix mode, because it's not been touched since 1983. Yeah, like custom grids, adding snow, especially snow. We just had Christmas. The F1 mobile game, I certainly couldn't get on with the F1 mobile game because it kept resetting my thing, thinking I was doing my first race every time I loaded the game up. So yeah, that's why we had another round of Project Cars. Plus, I wanted to finish that game off at some point anyway. But yes, the F1 mobile game had snow at its tracks, and having that availability in online in probably not career mode, but in Grand Prix mode, maybe again, maybe a few F1 World scenarios as well. You can render in those Citaro. I think it's a Citaro. It's the white wall tyres, the snow tyres. They have them. They exist. Because obviously they do stuff in the snow, Pirelli, as well. With F1 cars, they've done stuff before. So having that, on tracks, would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, obviously it's trying to simulate the grip of snow, but then obviously it's a snow tyre, so you'd hope that you'd have at least some grip there. But yes, there's a whole choosing the grids. Choosing whatever number of laps you want as well. There's so much stuff that they could do with Grand Prix mode to make it a whole lot better than it currently is. just getting a quick race in. Maybe even having like a custom setting saying join quick race. I think they had that once on one of the older F1 games. It was like a button on the main menu. It would just put you in a quick race. I think that was online though. But they could probably do something similar with career mode. Random track, random race. Maybe links to F1 World. Again, you can get the rewards that you want to, should you need to, or not. Have that option to choose from the F1 World car and the other cars. Again, the choices is giving people more options. I personally think is something that definitely improves the game. Scenario modes have done well over the years, although the Champions mode being the most popular. Obviously the ones they had recently, the classic cars, were not popular. So yeah, there's a whole load of stuff that they got to think about. Obviously they got scenario mode now, but it's a sort of just one-off scenarios really, to sort of unlock stuff, and not really a succession of scenarios, if that what I mean. And again, I've talked about that slightly before as well. But yes, obviously the big point here, if the game is pretty much the same, a copy of F123 with pretty much little to no changes, especially when the teams stay in the chain pretty much, the drivers rather. The teams are, there's going to be some changes to the cars, but there's not major changes. There's probably going to be no breaking point because it's biannual, and with the less popularity of F1 World, the only way to get people regularly playing the games again is by having a super duper career mode. Absolutely the only way. But yeah, I've probably said enough about F124. This is the end of my F124 game ideas, but please do comment if you've got any other ideas in the comments below. I am hoping that somebody from Codemasters and EA does watch these videos, but at the same time, I've not missed a popularity with them because of past videos, basically. Yes, I hope that the F1 game this year in 2024, it's what the game we want, the best career mode ever. If it's not, then that could be the end for the F1 game. F1 is on a slide popularity wise because of Max Verstappen winning every race, and it's dull. So the fact of the matter is, unless 2023 becomes good again, which there is a chance that there could be a bit more of a title fight, in 2024, not 2023, then again, that could also contribute to popularity declining, but is not the only factor. That they do need to consider the fact that the game's poor career mode and the poor attractiveness to players, considering the increase in price when F1 2020 was pretty much the best game, and there's a whole load of classic mods that are coming out for F1 2020 at the moment that keeps that game recycled as well, and there's tracks being added as well for that weren't even on that game. So all of those are being added to F1 2020. There's a whole load of stuff on there, which if I do get around to it, I will take a look at some of that stuff at some point. But that, I'm not promising anything because there are a load of series that do need to come out beforehand for that. But yeah, I've rambled on enough. Apologies about that. As I said, thank you so much for watching this series. Again, comment below if you've got any ideas. If you have enjoyed this series, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see F124 in action, as I say, unfiltered, because I don't have any affiliation with EA and Codemasters, so I won't be getting the game early, but I will get my true opinion about the game no matter what. So yeah, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.